All right, we're back here in the Rock Cave, here at Song of the Day. I'm your host, as usual, Mark Pierce. Today is exciting for me. I don't know about you guys, but today is Wednesday, and I had mentioned a couple of Wednesdays ago that we were going to do something different on Wednesdays. We didn't do it last Wednesday because it was my daughter's birthday. But as I said, Wednesdays, I think I'm going to come up with a theme where I play a song that maybe from a band you've never heard of, a song you've never heard of, or a song from a band that you know that I think that maybe you've never heard before. I can't come up with a funny catchphrase for Wednesdays. It's not wacky Wednesdays. It's not obscure Wednesdays. That doesn't really roll off the tongue. So I'm still working on that part of it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff up here, a lot of songs up here that just need to be released for people. We've been together for a while now, you and I. We've been together for about 3 weeks. That's pretty special. I think we're in the trust tree now, right? So I'll make a deal with you. I'll try to make them good, but don't start slacking now. You're going to have to trust me. I want to hear from you guys. Give it a shot. If it's a song you never heard of or a band you've never heard of, don't forget to click that play button and then comment underneath and tell me what you think. You hated it. It was all right. Hey, that was pretty cool. Thanks for that. Just give me a shout out, all right? So, what am I going with today? Well, first we're going to back up a second. People tell you about a new band and you start listening and you say things like, oh, where are they from? And if they say something like, oh, they're from London. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can dig that. Or, oh, no, this band is from New York City or Boston. Oh, they're from Boston? They must be kind of rough. Yeah, tough band. Yeah, that's cool. I like that, like Aerosmith. Oh, they're from LA? Oh, maybe it's like old school metal, or maybe it's glam or something like that. If they're from New Orleans, you're like, oh, yeah, I can kind of picture that. So anyway, one thing that you've never heard before, or I know I've never heard before, is someone would come up to you and go, hey, check this out. I got this new band for you. You're going to love it. Oh, yeah? Where are they from? Dude, they're from Maine. I mean, has that ever been said to anyone before, ever? No. I don't think anyone's ever said, dude, these guys rock. They're from Maine. Now, before you people in Maine get all upset and start getting your, bean boots all up in a twist, my mother was born in Maine. Not just Maine, but like Maine, Canada, because Limestone is like right on the Canadian border. I lived there as an infant, used to go there as a kid. It's right on the Canadian border. So much so that during Prohibition, you could play golf in the United States and then walk over to the clubhouse and have a drink because it was in Canada. So I have a fondness for Maine. Anyway, the other part of this story is no one's ever said, dude, this band is from Maine. Oh yeah, where'd you hear them? My mom. Well, that's what happened. My mother turned me on to a few bands in her lifetime, and this is one of them. The band is called Knotts Crosses. I don't know if I know anyone that knows who this band is. You go on the internet, it's very hard to even find anything. Even on YouTube, there's only a couple of selections. There's very little about them on the internet. But they put out 2 albums. I have both of them. The first one here, can you see it? Creatures of Habit. Second one here. So these are all out of print, but they were a duo that had a pretty big following in New England and in Maine in the early 90s. They put out 2 records, great music. I mean, they were aspiring band, and then it kind of fizzled out. It must have been frustrating. Sometimes you hear bands and you think, gosh, this music's really good. They must have been trying to figure out why the heck they weren't getting picked up. So their music is kind of rivals that of Indigo Girls kind of material as far as that's concerned. So I wouldn't necessarily say it rocks, but it's really solid. They have two songs that stick out for me. One is called Adore, and one's called Creatures of Habit. So I'm going to put both of those underneath so you guys can give them a listen. Try and give it a listen, see what you think. Yeah, so that's what we're doing on Wednesdays. We're going to try to mix up the type of music you hear. It'll definitely be stuff that you have not heard before, and if you have, I want to know about it. So that's our song of the day. We're going with Knotts and Crosses. Check it out. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you on the flip side.